Hey, so we are here today with our 11th symposium about my legacy to future generations. This is our third presentation with Dr. Myriam Abu Khalaf. Welcome, Dr. Myriam. You have the stage.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Good morning for some and good afternoon for others. I'm Myriam Abu Khalaf, and I'm a PhD candidate from the AIU. I got my master's degree in education from AIU too. I'm teaching English in Al-Manar American schools, and I'm training teachers in the Connect Learning Center. I'm actually training teachers and parents as well. To be a legacy means that I'm a teacher. For me, it's because I'm a teacher. I'm not a doctor, but I treated. I'm not a scientist, but I created. I'm not an engineer, but I designed. I'm not a painter, but colors are all my life. I'm not an actress, but I played all the roles. I was the nanny, the mother, the friend, and the teacher. Let me share with you one of my best story ever that I have in my life. One day, my husband decided to move to another city. So he's moving his work because he didn't have a good work in the city that we lived. And then it was not that easy for me because actually I was happy in my school. And now it means that I have to change my work and I have to change my friends. And I have to be in another city. So it's a little bit far away from the city that I lived at least 7 years old. So I went to a new school and I put my papers there. I make an application. And unfortunately, in the secretariat office, they told me that we have no chances this year for any teacher. So during going out, I just had a child like 15, 16 years old, and she looked at me and she shook hands with me and told me, "I miss you, miss." And really, 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 that time I didn't remember who is she. So I went to the door to move from the school, and on the door, the security told me that they are asking me in the secretariat office again. So I went back, and they told me that I have to meet the principal, and it was Mrs. Debra Rajab at the time. So we talked together at least 1 hour, and she told me that tomorrow I have to present a demo. A demo means that I will make like a demo lesson. She want to see what kind of teacher I am, what can I teach, and she want to see my ability of teaching children. So going home in my brain, I said, but they told me that they don't have any a chance or any opportunity for any teacher this year. So I went back the next day and I made the demo, and the demo was for 15 minutes only. And then at the end of the demo, she called me and she told me that I will be hired right now in the school for 2 reasons. Reason number one, because of the demo, and reason number two, because what I did to this child and her brother 7 years before. And I told her, just there is something that I can't understand. Can you please just explain to me what happened? And so she told me the story that that child told her that that child was in the school that I worked before, and she was 7 and her brother was 6. I can't remember her when she was 14. Of course, she changed completely. And she told her that this miss was teaching us math and English. And at the time, their mother was just dead. And I can see this child and her brother as well. They are just sitting in the classroom in silent, and they cannot speak, and they don't want to participate and everything. And I gave them a hand. And if she didn't tell me the story, I will not remember. I gave them a hand for at least 3 months, just to comfort them in the school and to get away of their disability of reading and writing and it was only because of the death of their mother. Why do you think I shared you this story? It's because creating generations, loving a person, refining his soul and mind is the most valuable and wonderful achievements. I'm a teacher and I'm proud, and I would like to greet and to give a respect to all teachers and tutors all around the world. Senior said that no legacy is so rich as honesty. Honesty is one of the simplest legacies you can leave behind. Living with a purpose is the most valuable thing one can do. If you want to leave a legacy for the future generation and for yourself too, you have to answer one of the following questions or all. What do you want your life to stand for? How do you want to be remembered by your family and friends? What kind of an impact do you want to have on your community? What contributions do you want to make to your field? Whose lives will you have touched? What lessons would you like to pass to the future generations? What do you want to leave behind? And are you a good model? If you're going to leave a legacy, make a mark on the world and that will be never erased. One of the most important marks that will never be erased is honesty. Starting my life as any normal child with a hard-working father to gain our life and a limited educated mother who cares a lot to build her family life and gives the maximum effort to her children. I was lucky to have an American neighbor who speaks to me from time to time, but unfortunately, I could only speak Arabic at the time. First school I went, and I was living in a very small village, and it's Silwan. It was an UNRWA school, but I learned there everything. My school had two shifts. It was one from 8 to 12, and the other one is from 12 to 4. I was in the second shift, meeting with Miss Nehad, Rashida, and Mrs. Kinana. Day after day, they taught me the love of learning, the good manners, and how to be a motivated child. I saw the love and care in their eyes. Studying with them, math, Arabic, and a little bit of science, lots of manners and love. Can't forget their smiles and serious attitudes. And here I learned the first lesson to work with love. When I'm back home, mom is waiting for me. She taught me what she can at the time, reading Arabic and handwriting. And here is the second lesson, truthful and honesty. One step on, the work of my dad blooms, and we moved to a new house in a new place. And here is started my journey at 9 years old. I received the first scholarship, full paid, in my life. I received a place in a private elementary school, and they teach English and French from kindergarten. First day in my school, I was so sad because it was very hard to speak to people. And in the sessions of English and French, it was to me like coming from another planet, and I felt totally lost. I was just having one language, which is Arabic. Two of my teachers decided to give me a hand, the English and the French teacher, and I received a daily extra care. So by the first term, I can read, By the end of the year, I passed same exam of that class with a percentage of 90% nearly in both languages. Can't forget the look of victory in their eyes. And that year, I was their target and they succeeded in it. And here is the third lesson: set your objectives and never give up. They give me an advice to receive a summer course to enlarge my experience in languages, and I did. I spent all my summer in taking courses in English and French. Then I passed some international exams, DELF, DALF, and TOEFL in English. I finished my school and time to go to the university. Not an easy choice and not an easy decision. I have a very good level in English and French, nearly as a native speaker. And I need really to improve this skill more and more. It's very important at the time also of my future career to have an excellent knowledge in computer as well. So I studied computer system analysis and design. Same time, I was called by one of the schools to co-teach with one of the French teachers for 2 days a week, 2 hours daily. So I was working and I actually co-teaching and studying in the same time. I was 19 years old at that time, and I was teaching children from grade 8 and 9. Same year, in the afternoon, I started another university diploma in French, which is Formation des professeurs. It means how to be a teacher. A convention was made between the University of Franche-Comté in Besançon, France, and Ibrahimiyya College. At the age of 21, I got already 2 university diplomas to start a good career. I started to work as a French teacher, very young one, and continuing my courses in all fields. In my career trip, I started to work as a French teacher, as I told you, in Ibrahimiyya College and in the library of the French Cultural Center in the area. So I met nearly all the nationalities. This issue enlarged my world, my knowledge, and my experience as well. I passed 5 years in the same work, and I arrived to be an assistant of the cultural attaché in my country. Time to launch my personal project. Association of Beautiful Languages for Women and Children. The idea started by answering the following question: where do I see myself in 5 years? Well, I see myself giving special help in education to women and children. So I started my project. With some help of my family, friends, and other people who believed in me and my project, I made this association. I rented an apartment in a good place, not very expensive, but not very big too. 3 rooms, one small kitchen and one small bathroom. First floor, so I have a small garden in front of the building, so children, they can spend a little time in it, making some work also in planting and so on. I made one room library from the donation of books from the French consulate, the British consul, families and friends. My friends even sent me shelves for the library. Our library was not so big. We have books in 3 languages in all subjects. Special books for all. What I wanted to do is to open this library for all people in the area. Parents can sit and read while waiting for their kids. Teachers have a very important resources to use for daily improvement plans. I used to go to the library since the age of 6. My mom used to take us to the library to read there and to have a weekly book or a weekly story to read at home. What did we achieve in this association? Teaching children English, French, Arabic, photography, and drawing. We made courses for women in reading and writing, taking care of their children, and first aid courses. We made a yearly fundraise for students to help them continuing to go to school. Art exhibitions, we printed 2 books, one storybook and one poetry book, all made by the children after taking different workshops. He participated in the Mondial Football for children in France. We made some cultural exchanges with France and Luxembourg. We had some music classes with the cooperation of a music teacher, Mr. Philip Lewis from Brigham University, and we increases the awareness of families by receiving doctors, engineering, and other people to speak to children and parents about hygiene, careers for future. During this time, I taught some extra courses for adults, like English for business to managers and other secretariats, so they are using now English language in their letters. We didn't have a regular fund from any NGOs or organizations, so sometimes I used to pay the rent from my own money, and luckily, I have lots of volunteering teachers and parents. Some parents paid for some courses if they can. Some families' life changed because of us. We offered some help to students with difficulties such as the slow learners, and I passed already 6 years volunteering in this project. I went to Kavalam Center to learn about curriculum designs and back to my country to improve my ideas in teaching and learning as well. I went to Egypt for a vacation time and to visit a book fair there. And there I met my husband. And 3 months later, I got married and moved to Egypt. Sadly, I left my association to some of my colleagues, but unfortunately, they could not continue more than 1 year. The association needed someone who can work there every day, and most of them, they have their own work and they can only volunteering from time to time. Another difficult step starting in my life, but this time it was in another country. A new store. I started a new job as a teacher in one of the international schools. I started a new job as a teacher in one of the international schools. I taught English and science. I taught Egyptians and many other nationalities. I learned a lot from them as they learned from me. The first baby arrived, and here is a new responsibility: a child to raise up and taking care of his health, mind, character, and education. 1 year later, I had my second baby. Time to make a new study. I decided to take a master's degree in education, and that was the first time contacting with AIU. I started contacting them, and they explained to me everything. I started my master program with them, School of Social and Human Studies. It was not easy, but amazing. I have to take care of 2 kids, my work, and my studies, full day duty. I learned a better management of my time, looking for a better career, better ideas in teaching, and more patience in listening and speaking. I worked in a new school just opened. In this school, we are teaching the American curriculum. It was very new for the children and parents as well. So from time to time, I had to answer the question, of some questions regarding the way of teaching and learning for both my colleagues at the time and the curious parents as well. And here I started to think about parents and teachers training. I took courses in TOT, so how to train trainers and how to train teachers, and TEFL also to improve my English language. This is beside my master's degree. And I opened a center for children, this time CLC, Connect Learning Center, to teach languages and training teachers and parents. I made lots of projects and training, but my favorites are involving parents in students' learning process and sharing their children in some educational project. They discover their children more and they are more aware of their needs now. Then I started to have some other ideas from people around me. So I made the following workshops for teachers: creating classroom from the child's point of view, flexible seating, online classroom management, comfort zone, bullying and cyberbullying, project-based learning resources in English, project-based learning resources in teaching and learning, intellectual immunity, and I created something in my new school, which is ongoing teacher project, and I advise them what to take for the online courses. A new child arrived, and now I have 3. But this time I feel more flexible. I can manage the house. I have a better discipline, ideas for my house and students. I can add different ideas to other people's life. I am a member in IELTS Hall, official teaching English to young learners. So I wrote on their Facebook page about ways of teaching, have a better class, volunteering, and so on. I will continue working and writing about the power of setting objectives, smiling and honestly, and I will never stop learning. I have one research, which is a published research, brilliant learners, exceptional learner with disability. This research is published by the AIU. Some of my certificates and diplomas are my master's degree from the AIU School in Education, School of Social and Human Studies. This is my certificates in diploma in teaching teachers how to be a good teachers. This letter is my favorite. It's from one of my directors, and he is thanking me because of some projects that I made with him. This one is teaching English for business. This one is for the teacher training, the educational psychology and approach and assessment, the world teachers, the best world teachers, and the role of education in promoting democracy. I have also certificates in leading learning transformation. And also I have a certificate in curriculum designs from Cavalon Center, and another one in SAT training. SAT is the American diploma. And a TEFL from Notting Hill College, as well as a TOT training of trainers. And the last one is the Dyslexia teaching techniques and solutions. 2 books I'm very proud that I made it with the children in my association. One is Ma Vie en Photo. This is My Life in Pictures. This is a poetry book. It's in French and Arabic. And this one is Amal and وشجرة الزيتون. and it means Amal and the olive tree. And also this is a two-language book, and this all made by the children, even the drawing. Why I do love the AIU? Reading their news, subject of the assignment, contacting the tutors, guiding me how to be professional. Every time I watch even a small video from the AIU, I learn something different. My dream is to open a school to help the children with disabilities, and it's gonna be a free school. They can come without any payment. My other dream is to help the graduates to think about their future studies, which is going to be related to the 21st century needs. And my third one is to finish my PhD. Actually, I'm a PhD. A legacy, teaching every your students to be honest, brave, to set their goals, vision and mission, to smile, to believe in themselves, and to believe in yourself too as a teacher. And at the end, very important thing, to never give up.
Thank you
Thank you
so
for
much,
listening.
Dr. Myriam. It's amazing to see all the things that you've been able to accomplish. And again, with children, which are our future, so it's important to instill in them. So we saw you started one foundation and then you had to move because you started, your life as a wife and mother. What inspires you to keep generating these ideas for people?
Okay. The person that inspired me is my mother. At the time when I was a student, she was a limited educated mother, but at the end, when we all grow up, I have with me, we are five children. She has 5 children. I have me, and I have 4 brothers. She completed her education, and she finished her university diploma, and she's a designer.
Wow.
So she is pushing us all towards education. At the time that we stopped doing anything, she's calling everybody of us, asking, what is your future project? What are you gonna do? What did you read? What did you make? And she really, with a lot of people around me too, especially my teacher, they are acting in a way that if you can do something for your community, for your friends, for people around you, even for yourself, go for it. Do not stop. You are gonna live one time in your life, so just make a benefit. A benefit is not a money. You can benefit. You are working and you get money, but there is something inside. You will feel it, and this is not coming with the money. To be satisfied because you did something to others, even if others they do not know that you did this to them, but they can feel it.
Yeah.
When I taught and even now I'm teaching young children, when I'm telling them something new information, or I'm guiding them to make a research, or I'm guiding them to use Google, but in a safe way, there is something that I received from their eyes. It's not about money. It's not about work. It's something that, thank you because you are here, which satisfied me a lot. And I can like this, I can say that thanks God that I can do something to them.
Yeah, I think like you said, and I think all of our presenters have kind of shared that same notion that money is not what's important when leaving a legacy. What's important is that you are teaching your knowledge to other people so that they could teach it to other people, because that's kind of what helps us as a society to continue to grow, because you instill in somebody that inspiration because you dedicate their time, so they're going to reciprocate doing it with other people. So you want to open a school for kids with disability. That is amazing, and free of charge. That's so great. Do you have a timeline for this, when you will accomplish this?
Well, I should go through a lot of procedures to do that. First, I should find a fund. And second, I should find people who can do this with me, because actually students with disabilities, they need a lot of time and a lot of educated people to drive them to the right test, to the right way. So having a fund, till now I didn't find it, and having people, I have some people who are around me, they can help in this, but still it's not gonna see the sun very quickly, like not very soon.
Okay. No, but I mean, but you have that vision, and just seeing everything that you've accomplished, I know that you will get there. One last question
So
for my part, and then we can ask our participants. You have had several foundations, like you said, you found volunteers. What advice would you give to a student that wants to open their own foundation or wants to create something to help their community, be it single moms or single fathers or teens? What advice would you give them as far as looking for funding or looking for volunteers?
mhm. First of all, I would like only to say that receiving messages from people that you might not remember, and they were your students like 15 years ago or 14 years ago, telling you in their message that thank you, because of you, I could speak English very well, and now I'm studying in London, or now I'm studying in America. This is like a very touching message that you can have in your life. For people who want to make their own project, or they want to make their own foundations, try to have people like you first. So search for people who think your way. It doesn't matter if you have different kinds of opinions, which is actually very safe and very healthy to have different opinion, but try to have people that they believe at least in 20% like you. If you have people same beliefs, so you can do something to other people. You can volunteer in this like 1 hour a day in your life, even 20 minutes in your life, and you can do something with them. Go, do not stop. Let's go to the second step and try to do something. Things will arrive by the time. People, they will see that you are succeeding in your project. uh, uh, People, they are sitting in homes because they don't have the ability to work, but they are really healthy and they want to do something for the city. They will find you as shining as a sun to them, so they will come to you. First step is find people like you, like search and find. You will find. No way, there you will find. There is people like you. Second step, start your project. And third one, wait, because actually things are gonna go very well.
Great. That's great advice. I think you're right. There's always going to be people that have the same vision or have the same goal or have the same group of people that they want to help. So that definitely is a tool. Thank you so much. Is there anybody of our participants that has a question for Dr. Myriam or a comment? No.
Yeah, hello, please. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello,
go ahead.
yes, sir.
All right, good morning to you. It's just only a recommendation I'd like to make. Yeah. Congratulations to you, Mariam. But you've done a very good job. It's not easy. But what I want to advise each and everyone who is being connected this very morning here is that, yes, you might have the ideas, but many a times we have to think ahead. What I'm gonna do, what will be the end results and everything it takes to be. There are so many people, philosophers who have made very cogent statements concerning how to do something or how to make even a project. But all I want to say is that in all that you want to do, the beginning of everything is bitter, but the end of it is very sweet. That is my recommendation to each and everyone. Yes, let's try something. Put it ahead, put it on a paper, doing the drafting, let us have it done, and we can make it. Such is life. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your comment. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that wants to share something or have a question for Dr. Myriam and her work?
Yes, please. Can you hear me?
Yes, Priska, go ahead.
Yes. Thanks,
Why, doctor?
Dr. Myriam.
Doctor.
Congratulations for the nice.
Yeah, right now Priska has the floor, and then next we will have another question. Go ahead, Priska.
Okay, I want to congratulate Dr. Miriam for the work that she has done, and for sure, this is a calling. It's not easy. Teaching and taking care of those young people, to be able to get a smile in their faces, it is not easy. And I congratulate you, Dr. Miriam. I wish you all the best in your work. And I would like to ask you a question. What are you going to do with the young people that you are teaching when you finish your PhD? What would you want them to be like? Which position, or where would you want them to be?
Some of them, they are already there, they have their positions. Some of them, they are now assistants of medical teachers, like teachers and doctors, like big doctors and professors. Some of them, they still are, they have their education in engineering universities. But the young ones that I'm teaching right now, and after my finishing my diplomas, my PhD, because I want really to study more about gifted children and brilliant one, and the slow learners, and how to fill the gaps between all of these stories. I want them to understand that volunteering is something very important for them and for the society itself, for the community itself. I want them to make sure that giving 1 hour a week from your time to others, to help them in reading, in writing, in even to make a course for old women who cannot read, for anybody who needs help. This is gonna give you back everything you wish, because you are gonna learn a lot. Learning from me is not enough. You must go through an experience to learn more, because as a human being, you are not receiving all the time. You must receive, and you must make to receive more. For my young students now, I would like them to make a project at the school, but I didn't speak to the school yet about this. I want them to make a project like Big Brother or Big Sister, and to offer help for the youngest one in any kind of education. If they need help in making their homework in school, if they need help in teaching them a sport, basketball, soccer, or something. So to offer them something, they can do it, and they can master it, and other they cannot master it. So we have at least people, we are filling the gaps between the people who know something and people who cannot master this thing. And like this, we can live in a healthy society.
Thank you so much, Dr. Miriam. We had one more question from Kennedy. Kennedy, you can unmute your mic.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. It's afternoon here in Zambia. I'm very impressed with Myriam, what she's talking about. I've listened to the whole of her story. Now, the inspiration from the mother, I just want to know whether the mother is still alive or not. Because it's like everything she's doing is the good foundation of that good mother. Where is she? Would also want to know her, because the legacy which she has given is really touching every angle of life. Wherever someone is listening to this is touched with what she's talking about. And then the legacy of which she's intending to leave for the brilliant knowledge she has as a teacher. Who pays her all those projects? I would like to know who is behind that support, because those are very huge projects like TOT and other things which she's doing to children, to adults. It involves a lot of money. Though I'm liable to see that most of the people are doing also some voluntary work, but voluntary needs is someone to have something to assist them. So those are the two questions which I'm asking.
Thank you, Kennedy. Dr. Myriam?
Thank you.
So the first question was if my mother is still alive. That was the question?
Yes, if your mother's still alive.
Yes, my mother is still alive and she's living in Jordan. I'm Jordanian, but I'm living in Egypt because my husband is Egyptian.
Okay. And the second
Okay.
question was just about, again, like the funding for
Yeah.
your
Actually, I'm living in a very small city, and as I told in my presentation, as I said in my presentation, that I have some courses that they are paid by the parents. So we are using the money that that some parents paid for the courses that they are unpaid for the children who cannot pay any amount of money. And with the volunteering teachers, it means that I don't have any salaries for them, so they are all volunteering. And even I have some parents who were teachers and they are not teach anymore because of their age or because of a other responsibility at home. So when they are volunteering with me, I'm filling the gap of having teachers with no money, volunteering zone.
Okay. Thank
Great.
you.
There's nothing stronger than the heart of a volunteer, they always say, right? Because like you
It
said,
is
they
very
have
hard.
like, yes.
The work which is harder is when you are organizing all these people, who is doing what and when and where and all these things. This is very hard. But at the end, I'm pretty satisfied from the results, and I wish to continue more and more.
Yes, you're doing amazing things. I mean, you're definitely leaving a legacy with, you know, the children, the people in your community, your volunteers, and definitely with all of us here at AIU. So thank you so much, Dr. Myriam, for your time and for
Thank
your
you so much.
presentation, and keep up the great work.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Edward, we can stop recording.